The first website that I want to show you today is this one. It's called Palette, and basically it's a creative space for creatives, basically, and it has this playful interaction where you're kind of revealing, you have color palettes, right? And then you click one of them and you immediately go into it, and they basically just show you stuff that you have in this creative space. Now, I really love the art direction here with all of these round corners and elements, and everything here is kind of like round. The buttons are round, all the corners of the imagery is round. Really, really nice kind of art direction, but note that the actual body copy is actually kind of like rigid typography. This is a really nice example of how you combine one thing, one idea, like all of this roundness with something a little bit rigid. So there is contrast between the fonts, and this is really nice. I really like this glass menu that we have here. And also check out the beautiful page transitions. So every time we're switching a page, it's like we're zooming out and the next page is just coming on top of it. Really nice interactions, really beautiful color palette on this page. And I think this is a really creative solution for just talking about a space and all the stuff that's in the space. Really, really beautiful work. This website was designed by Standard, this, I guess, studio from LA, which is kind of like minimal in their website. I'm not really sure why. They have some things here that I don't understand, like the hover interaction or yellow over yellow, so you can't really see anything. And this button is actually the email, but I didn't know it was an email. So this website is kind of weird, but Standard, really good job on the Palette website. The next website I want to show you is this one. It's called Rosa. And it's basically a hotel in Switzerland. Now, let me scroll this. This is a really, really beautiful example of a website that uses parallax scrolling. So the whole feeling of scrolling is like the camera is moving out. We're kind of zooming out, and then you can see the person, and as we're scrolling in, it's like the camera is moving and we're getting into the hotel room. Now, this is a really beautiful example of parallax. This is really not difficult to develop. Like, you can do this in 2 seconds with Webflow, but it's really just the beautiful planning and the illustration. And we've seen recently so many like trendy illustration websites, but here they have a really unique style. It's not the style that you see on all the kind of like startup website. It's really warm and textured and has a really nice feeling to it. Also, I think it's actually pretty creative and stands out when you do a hotel. The most classic thing about a hotel is to show photos of the hotel. And they didn't go ahead with just showing photos of the hotel and rooms, but actually illustration that kind of shows you the feeling of it. I think this is beautiful. There's a beautiful kind of like planning of the scroll experience. I really, really love this website of Rosa. This was designed by this Swiss designer called Clue, I guess. That's their website, mostly branding work. But I do think that this website work for Rosa was really, really nice. The next website that I want to show you is, I actually think this is super, super innovative. This is called Vitra, and they're basically selling chairs. Now, we've seen tons of e-commerce websites selling chairs, but what they did here is they redesigned the experience to say, okay, we have so many products. How do you know which one is for you? So they basically created some kind of a questionnaire. So for example, you answer a bunch of questions like, how much time do you sit? Do you sit like 8 hours on the chair, or you're sitting more like 2 hours on the chair? And based on your answers, they're going to recommend you different chairs. So are you going to share the chair? Yes or no? Let's say I'm not going to share the chair. What is my height? I'm taller or I'm shorter? And you can see that based on, how I'm sitting, they're going to recommend different chairs to me. And I actually see that they're always recommending the ones in the middle. But you can see that the recommendations are changing. And once I'm making my selection, then I can go ahead and click it, and then it kind of becomes like a standard e-commerce website. But I really think, and also you can see this in augmented reality in your room, which is nice. But I really like how they're rethinking e-commerce. Not just put images in a grid, let's help you with recommendation, kind of feel like you're in a sales with a salesman in the shop. Really, really great design solution for e-commerce. Amazing. This was designed by this company, which is called Built in Amsterdam. I'm just going to show you the intro here, and they're jumping right into case studies, which I love. There's no fluff around their website. It's just basically, hi, we're this agency, bam, and looks like fantastic works here. And I think this is a really great approach for a portfolio, by the way. Hi, we're Amsterdam, or built in Amsterdam, bam, here's the work. The work's a lot of visual space for the work, looks just fantastic. Okay, the next website that I want to show you is this one. Let me reload this so you can see it. It's called, it's for a brand called Pola. I actually don't know what they're doing, and they did this kind of experience for Mother's Day. Now it's in Japanese, so I actually don't know what they're saying here, but I feel like this is kind of an experience to talk about mothers. And what I really like about this, note kind of the masking of the text as I'm scrolling. The text gets like red color and then blue color as it kind of focuses you on the experience that you want to read right now. I've never seen this beautiful kind of like masking of text to help the user focus on the text and read alongside with you. I think this is beautiful. Of course, the animation is beautiful. The whole vibe here is super, super Japanese. And I love this. I think this is a really, really beautiful experience. This was designed by this Japanese studio called Mount, and you can definitely check them out. I'm going to put all the links below this video. Japanese design has such a minimalistic, beautiful aesthetic, and they have such a phenomenal design tradition. We can learn so much from Japanese design, whether it is web design or packaging design or poster design or brand identity. I really, really love this. The last website that I want to show you is this one. It's for a cafe called Joana, I guess, in Iceland. And this is a very different approach from, this is very image-based, but also very, very beautiful. Again, a different type of masking for the text and kind of like a scroll position. It's a really interesting mix of both illustration and imagery and typography, and all the illustration and how you're kind of scrolling through this. Really, really beautiful experience. It's going to be a cafe and a cinema. So really nice kind of like a promo for this cafe. I guess it's not even open yet. But really nice. This was designed by Hallie. I'm not sure if you know him. He was the founder of an agency called Joana, which was purchased by Twitter. So now he works in Twitter. And this website was actually designed by him and a bunch of people. I guess like a collaboration of creatives. And it won the awards site of the day before the cafe is even open. I'm going to link all the credits below this video. I think these are phenomenal works, and I know a lot of times in the comments you're saying, but what about mobile? But what about, this is not, the most user-friendly websites. And that might be true, but you have to remember that a lot of times the goal of these websites is just to impress and create a feeling towards the brand, not necessarily convert most people. I do think that the e-commerce website will convert pretty good because it's a great experience. But overall, a lot of the goal of these websites is just to create a story and a connection with the users, and it's doing that pretty well. If you want to learn more about web design, make sure you subscribe to Flux, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.